I have been doing a lot today. Things have been really hectic. I called the wheelchair repair people yesterday because I was in so much pain trying to use my new wheelchair, and it wasn't until the pain got really bad that I tried to investigate what the problem was. And then I realised that when I'm sitting in the chair properly, my feet don't reach the foot plates, so they're just dangling there, and it needed to go up about 2 or 3 inches, so it was like completely wrong. And the headrest hadn't been screwed together properly, so it was just all loose, and when I tried to lean on it, it would just sort of bend away from me and wouldn't support my head at all, and so I was getting a really bad pains in my neck. And then the other thing was the seat wasn't like upright at 90 degrees, if you know what I mean. It was like the seat back was bent back. Sorry, I think that's a plane. A very loud plane. I got that sorted, and it was a bit awkward because you don't get a time for when the repairs guy is going to arrive, which meant that I ended up being in the shower when he got here, and I had to jump out, throw a towel on, and I was just soaking wet and like dripping water all over the floor while I was trying to explain to him what the problems were with the chair. But he was actually a really nice guy, and I said to him I was really grateful to him for sorting out the chair for me. The only problem is the footrest doesn't actually go high enough for my legs, so it's obviously meant for people who are taller than me, or it might be the fact that I've got a child's seat on the chair. So I'm going to have to call the actual NHS therapist who gave me the wheelchair and explain that it's not suitable for my size, and they'll have to put a new foot plate on, but that's going to take ages. Just woke up from a nap and it's raining for the first time in weeks. It smells really good, that rain smell. Hello, it's Thursday the 12th of July. If you're wondering what this thing I'm wearing around my neck is, it's the piece of jewellery that came out of my face here. I just wanted to keep it. Anyway, today was good and bad. I had spoken to my friend a few days ago about whether she'd want to take on one of my 2 big fish tanks, because for one thing, I'm not sure I'll have enough space to put both of them in my new place, and for another thing, I know that she really particularly liked one of the tanks and that she wanted one like that herself. And then the final thing is that the landlord said that, although they said when I looked around that I could have fish, they later said that it's actually not allowed in the tenancy agreement. So anyway, I gave this tank to my friend. She came over to pick me and the tank up, and we took it to her place, and I set it up again at hers because a lot of the plants and things all got jumbled up when we were moving it, and I helped her carry it a little bit because it's too big and heavy for one person to carry on their own, and I was going to have to move it either way, whether I tried to take it to my new place or took it to hers, so it didn't really make much difference. And she did mention that it might dislocate my shoulder because she knows now what I'm like and what my condition's like, and I said don't worry about it, even though I knew there was a fair possibility that it might happen. But it has happened. So that's why this shoulder's dropped down compared to the other one. I mean, I am sitting straight, it's the shoulder. When my mum came home from work and found out, she just started ranting at me about what am I going to do now, what am I going to do now, I can't do this, this is too much, for God's sake, and so on. And I said, well, it's not really my fault, is it? It's my medical condition, it's because I've got EDS that my joints keep dislocating. And I have been doing a lot more generally, trying to get stuff ready for moving and lifting things from my shoulder that I wouldn't normally even attempt to do. And I did already dislocate it once a couple of weeks ago. What was that, sorry? It's outside my room. I told her I think that's kind of inappropriate when I'm like here in agony with my shoulder dislocated and can't move my arm, and she's sort of shouting at me because it's dislocated as if I somehow did it on purpose. I mean, I have no control over them at all, but I'm hoping, because we learnt a bit from putting my ankle back when it dislocated the other day, about how to put dislocations back in a better way, so I'm hoping that the same method will work, where basically you pull the joint apart and then twist it back the opposite way to the direction of the dislocation and then try and reset the joint. I have no idea if it will work on the shoulder, but I think that last time I established that it definitely was a dislocation because I had that crack and it went back, so I think there's a good chance it will work. If it doesn't, then I've got a serious problem because I can't pack my stuff, and the moving van's going to be here on Saturday and I paid for it and everything, so I need to get all my stuff in it, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. But as I said to my mum, why don't we just try and put the shoulder back first and then worry about that stuff later if it's still a problem, instead of catastrophising. So she has just made me dinner, which was nice because I couldn't even manage to do anything with my one good arm and one arm that barely moves. And I'll be back later to let you know how it goes trying to put it back. Just gonna have a bit of chicken and rice first. Bye bye for now. And then if I try and shrug, nothing happens on that side. If I try and lift my arm, again nothing happens, and you can see the hands turned kind of purple in comparison to my other one, because it's not getting as good circulation.